Alaska, the last frontier. A land so vast, so untamed, it feels almost otherworldly. This is where nature reigns supreme, where towering peaks kiss the sky, and ancient glaciers carve their way through valleys of ice. A place of extremes where winters are long and unforgiving. But summers bring endless daylight, igniting the wilderness with life. Here, the wild is not just a backdrop, it is alive, breathing, and ever-changing. Majestic grizzly bears roam the rivers, hunting for salmon in the rushing streams. Wolves move like shadows through the dense forests, while moose wade through misty wetlands, their presence both powerful and serene. Beneath the waves, the waters teem with life. Orcas glide effortlessly through the deep blue. Alaska's oceans are a world of their own, cold, wild, and mysterious. But Alaska is not just a place, it's an experience. It's the feeling of standing at the edge of the world, where silence is vast and time slows to a whisper. It's the rush of the wind as you stand on a glacier, the crunch of fresh snow beneath your feet, and the glow of the northern lights painting the sky in waves of green and violet. This land calls to the adventurers, the dreamers, the seekers of the unknown. It's a place that humbles you, reminds you of nature's raw power, and invites you to explore its endless wonders. Welcome to Alaska, a land of beauty, a land of mystery, a land of untamed wonder. Wasilla. Nestled in the Matanuska-Susitna Valley, surrounded by snow-capped peaks, vast lakes, and endless wilderness, Wasilla is a gateway to adventure in the heart of south-central Alaska. Just 45 miles north of Anchorage, this small but fast-growing town blends rugged frontier spirit with modern convenience, making it a perfect base for exploring the untamed beauty of the last frontier. Today, it remains a place where dog mushers train for the legendary Iditarod race, where the wilderness is never far away, and where adventure is part of everyday life. Lake Lucille and Wasilla Lake, right in town, offer peaceful spots for kayaking, fishing, and soaking in views of the Talkeetna and Chugach Mountains. Just beyond the city limits, the Nick and Matanuska rivers weave through glacial valleys. while Hatcher Pass, a short drive away, unveils breathtaking alpine scenery, wildflower-covered meadows, and the remnants of the Independence Mine, a historic gold mining operation frozen in time. Outdoor enthusiasts will find no shortage of adventure here. Hikers and mountain bikers explore the vast network of trails leading into the wilderness, while snowmobilers and cross-country skiers take over in the winter months. For thrill seekers, the nearby Knik Glacier offers jaw-dropping landscapes, accessible by helicopter, off-road vehicle, or even dog sled during the winter. Wildlife is everywhere. Moose wander through neighborhoods, eagles soar overhead, and bears roam the forests beyond town. And when night falls and the northern lights dance across the sky, casting an ethereal glow over the valley. Wasilla may not be as remote as some Alaskan towns, but it holds the same spirit, a place where adventure is always just outside your door, where history lingers in the air, and where the vast beauty of Alaska is always within reach. Juneau. Tucked between towering mountains and the icy waters of the Inside Passage, Juneau is unlike any other U.S. capital. Isolated from the rest of the world, accessible only by boat or plane, this remote yet vibrant city is a place where glaciers, rainforests, and wildlife shape daily life in ways few other capitals can match. The most iconic natural wonder here is Mendenhall Glacier, a massive river of ice that tumbles from the Juneau ice field into a turquoise lake dotted with icebergs. Juneau is also home to the Tongass National Forest, the largest temperate rainforest in the world. Lush with towering spruce and hemlock trees, moss-draped trails, and misty waterfalls, this vast wilderness teems with life. Brown bears patrol salmon-filled streams, bald eagles perch on driftwood, and humpback whales breach in the glacier-fed waters of the Gastineau Channel. Despite its remote setting, Juneau is alive with history and culture. Downtown's colorful buildings and wooden boardwalks tell the story of its gold rush past, while the Alaska State Museum and the Sealaska Heritage Center celebrate the rich traditions of the Tlingit, Haida, and Tsimshian peoples. For thrill seekers, the adventure never stops. Helicopter tours land on remote glaciers, offering a chance to walk on ice thousands of years old. Kayakers paddle alongside towering icebergs and playful sea lions, while boat tours take visitors deep into Tracy Arm Fjord, where sheer granite cliffs, thundering waterfalls, and calving glaciers create a landscape straight out of a dream. Some capitals are defined by politics. Juneau is defined by nature, wild, unpredictable, and breathtakingly beautiful at every turn. Anderson Bay. Tucked away in the remote wilderness of southeast Alaska, Anderson Bay is a secluded paradise where towering forests, misty mountains, and tranquil waters create an untouched sanctuary. This hidden bay, far from the crowds, offers an escape into the raw beauty of Alaska's coastal wilderness, a place where time slows and nature speaks in whispers of wind and water. Surrounded by steep, forested slopes and jagged cliffs, Anderson Bay feels like a world apart. The deep, glassy waters reflect the ever-changing sky, while the surrounding Tongass National Forest, the largest temperate rainforest on Earth, envelops the shoreline in a lush, green embrace. It's a place where moss-covered trees, tumbling waterfalls, and the scent of cedar and salt air create an atmosphere of quiet wonder. Few places remain so wild, so unspoiled. Anderson Bay is more than a destination. It's a retreat into the heart of Alaska's untamed beauty, where the only sounds are the rustling trees, the lapping waves, and the distant call of an eagle soaring high above the bay. Sitka. Perched on the western edge of Baranof Island, where the Pacific Ocean meets the towering peaks of the Tongass National Forest, Sitka is a place where history, culture, and raw natural beauty collide. This remote town, once the capital of Russian Alaska, is steeped in indigenous heritage, Russian influence, and an untamed wilderness that stretches as far as the eye can see. Surrounded by the endless blue of the Inside Passage, Sitka's coastline is a maze of rocky islets, mist-shrouded fjords, and hidden coves teeming with wildlife. For adventurers, Sitka is an outdoor playground. Hikers ascend Mount Verstovia, rewarded with sweeping views of the town, ocean, and distant volcanic peaks. Kayakers paddle through Sitka Sound, weaving between islands where sea lions bask on rocky outcroppings. Beyond the town, Fortress of the Bear, a sanctuary for orphan bears, offers an up-close look at these powerful creatures. Sitka is shaped by the sea, the mountains, and the spirit of those who have called it home, past and present. Wild, remote, and breathtakingly beautiful, it's a place where Alaska's heart beats strongest. Kodiak. Rugged, remote, and breathtakingly wild, Kodiak Island is a place where towering mountains, dense rainforests, and untamed coastlines create one of the most awe-inspiring landscapes in Alaska. Known as the Emerald Isle for its lush green hills and misty beauty, Kodiak is home to some of the state's most dramatic scenery and legendary wildlife. At the heart of this island, wilderness stands its most famous resident, the Kodiak bear, the largest brown bear species on Earth. Roaming the island's vast landscapes, these giants can reach up to 500 pounds, feasting on salmon, berries, and the riches of the land. In Kodiak National Wildlife Refuge, which covers 2/3 of the island, visitors can witness these awe-inspiring creatures in their natural habitat, wading through rivers, grazing on open meadows, or ambling along the rugged shoreline. For those craving adventure, Kodiak is a playground like no other. Hikers trek through alpine ridges, where sweeping views of fjords, glaciers, and endless oceans stretch into the horizon. And for those seeking solitude, the island's countless secluded beaches offer a front-row seat to some of the most spectacular sunrises and sunsets on the planet. Kodiak is defined by both wild, untamed, and unforgettable, where the spirit of Alaska is as vast as the ocean that surrounds it. Seward. Tucked between the towering peaks of the Kenai Mountains and the icy waters of Resurrection Bay, Seward is one of Alaska's most breathtaking coastal towns. As the gateway to Kenai Fjords National Park, this small yet spectacular destination is where glaciers meet the sea, wildlife roams free, and adventure is just a step away. One of the most awe-inspiring sights is Exit Glacier, where visitors can hike right up to the ancient ice, feeling the chill of a glacier that has shaped the landscape for thousands of years. Wildlife thrives in the rich waters surrounding Seward. Orcas slice through the waves, humpback whales breach in dramatic displays, and sea otters float playfully in the bay. On land, black bears roam the dense forests, while bald eagles perch on treetops, watching the world unfold below. Beyond its natural wonders, Seward is a town built on adventure. The Mount Marathon Race, one of the toughest foot races in the world, sees runners scaling nearly 3,000 feet of rugged mountain terrain before racing back down at breakneck speeds. For those who prefer a slower pace, the Lost Lake Trail offers an unforgettable journey through alpine meadows, past crystal-clear lakes, and into the untouched wilderness of the Kenai Peninsula. And as the sun dips behind the mountains, the harbor fills with boats returning from deep-sea fishing trips, their decks heavy with halibut, salmon, and rockfish, a true testament to the bounty of the Alaskan waters. Some places are simply beautiful. Seward is more than that. It's where glaciers breathe, the ocean sings, and the wild spirit of Alaska pulses through every wave and mountain peak. Tongass National Forest. Stretching across the misty coast of Alaska, Tongass National Forest is a realm of towering trees, endless fjords, and ancient glaciers. Covering 16.7 million acres, it is the largest temperate rainforest on Earth, a land where nature still reigns supreme, untouched, and untamed. Here, colossal Sitka spruce and western hemlock rise like cathedral pillars, their moss-draped branches forming a dense, emerald canopy. Below, crystal-clear rivers weave through the wilderness, carving their paths between jagged cliffs and lush valleys. Bald eagles soar overhead, their piercing cries echoing through the endless green. In the fjords, orcas and humpback whales glide through the icy waters, their graceful movements breaking the silence of this vast, watery wilderness. Deeper within the forest, elusive wolves and lynx move like shadows among the undergrowth. While brown bears, some of the largest in the world, emerge from the trees to fish for salmon in rushing streams. These waters, teeming with life, pulse with the annual migration of millions of salmon, fueling the intricate web of life that makes this ecosystem one of the richest on the planet. As the mist rolls through the valleys and the rain patters gently on the leaves, Tongass feels almost enchanted, a place where time slows and nature tells its own ancient story. It is a world far removed from the modern rush, a living testament to the wild, rugged beauty of Alaska. Kenai River. Flowing through the wild heart of Alaska, the Kenai River is a ribbon of shimmering turquoise, a lifeline of glacial meltwater winding through some of the most breathtaking landscapes on Earth. From the icy Kenai Lake, nestled among snow-capped peaks, the river carves its way through lush forests, rolling valleys, even rugged canyons, before spilling into the vast Cook Inlet. The Kenai is more than just a river, it's an adventure. Whitewater rapids thunder through narrow gorges, offering heart-pounding rides for thrill seekers, while calmer stretches invite peaceful drifting, where the only sound is the gentle splash of a paddle and the call of loons echoing across the water. As autumn sets in, the riverbanks explode in fiery shades of gold and red, reflecting on the glassy surface like a painting come to life. This one pulses with life, wild and untamed, a true Alaskan treasure where nature reigns supreme. Denali National Park and Preserve. In the untamed wilderness of Alaska, where mountains pierce the sky and vast tundras stretch beyond the horizon, lies Denali National Park and Preserve, a land so raw, so immense, that it feels untouched by time. Covering over 6 million acres, it is a place where nature rules, where the silence is broken only by the call of a raven or the distant rumble of an avalanche. At its core stands Denali, the tallest peak in North America, towering at 20,310 feet. Its snow-covered slopes rise dramatically above the surrounding landscape, often veiled in swirling clouds. To the native Koyukon Athabascans, Denali means the High One, and no name could be more fitting for this towering giant. But Denali is more than just a mountain. It is a world alive with creatures that have roamed this land for thousands of years. Here, grizzly bears prowl through the tundra. Caribou herds move like shadows across the valleys, and wolves slip through the trees, unseen but always present. As the seasons change, so does Denali's magic. In summer, the tundra erupts in a patchwork of wildflowers, and endless daylight stretches the days into golden eternity. In winter, the landscape is transformed into an icy kingdom, where the aurora borealis dances across the sky in a hypnotic display of green and violet light. Some parks invite exploration. This one dares you to embrace the wild, to step beyond the familiar, and lose yourself in nature's grandest masterpiece. Hatcher Pass. High in the rugged Talkeetna Mountains, where the air is crisp and the peaks seem to touch the sky, lies Hatcher Pass, a breathtaking slice of Alaska that feels like a world of its own. With its rolling tundra, wildflower-covered meadows, and snow-dusted summits, this hidden gem is a paradise for adventurers, nature lovers, and those seeking solitude in the wild. Unlike the towering giants of Denali or the icy landscapes of the glaciers, Hatcher Pass offers a more intimate kind of beauty. In the summer, the hills burst into a carpet of fireweed, lupine, and Arctic daisies, their colors dancing in the wind. For hikers and explorers, the trails here are endless. Come winter, Hatcher Pass transforms into a snowy wonderland. Deep, untouched powder blankets the slopes, drawing backcountry skiers, snowboarders, and snowshoers to its pristine, unmarked terrain. The silence is absolute, broken only by the soft crunch of snow beneath your feet or the distant howl of the wind as it whips through the mountains. Hatcher Pass is beautiful in every light, whether it's the golden glow of summer, the icy shimmer of winter, or the ethereal dance of the northern lights. Mendenhall Glacier. Just outside the capital city of Juneau, hidden within a vast wilderness of rugged peaks and ancient forests, lies Mendenhall Glacier, a breathtaking, frozen giant that has stood the test of time. Stretching 13 miles, 21 kilometers, from the vast Juneau ice field, this river of ice flows between towering mountains. Its jagged, electric blue surface, a mesmerizing contrast against the dark green of the surrounding rainforest. For centuries, Mendenhall has been in motion, shifting, carving, and shaping the land beneath it. But like many glaciers, it is slowly retreating, revealing dramatic landscapes that were once buried under thousands of years of ice. As you stand at its edge, the silence is occasionally broken by the deep, thunderous crack of ice calving, sending massive chunks plunging into the frigid waters below. At the glacier's base, Mendenhall Lake stretches out, a mirror reflecting the icy expanse above. In the distance, the roar of Nugget Falls fills the air, a powerful cascade of water that tumbles down the mountainside, fed by the ever-melting ice. Knik River. Flowing from the icy heart of the Chugach Mountains, the Knik River is a breathtaking stretch of glacial blue water that winds through the untamed wilderness of south-central Alaska. Fed by the towering Knik Glacier, this river is more than just a waterway. It's a lifeline, carving its way through dramatic landscapes of towering peaks, rugged cliffs, and vast open valleys. The river's waters are an ethereal shade of turquoise, a result of finely ground glacial silt suspended in the current. As it snakes through the wilderness, the Knik River offers a stunning contrast between the lush green of the valley and the icy blue of its source. In the distance, the Chugach Range stands like silent guardians, their snow-capped summits reflecting in the rippling waters below. Adventure along the Knik River comes in many forms. Jet boat tours race across its surface, weaving through hidden channels and skimming past floating icebergs. And for those seeking an aerial view, a flight-seeing tour over Nick Glacier reveals an otherworldly landscape of crevasses, ice falls, and frozen rivers stretching endlessly toward the horizon. Wildlife is never far from the river's edge. Moose graze in the meadows, their massive forms half hidden by tall grass. As the seasons change, so does the Nick River. In summer, it's a ribbon of liquid sapphire shimmering under the endless daylight. In winter, it transforms into a frozen wonderland, where the wind carves patterns into the ice and dog sled teams race across its snowy expanse. Some rivers are simply waterways. The Nick River is a journey, one that leads through some of the wildest, most beautiful landscapes Alaska has to offer. Turnagain Arm. Stretching along the scenic Seward Highway, Turnagain Arm is one of Alaska's most mesmerizing landscapes, a place where towering mountains plunge into silvery waters, where the tides surge with unstoppable force, and where the wilderness is as untamed as it is breathtaking. Carved by ancient glaciers, this dramatic waterway extends from Cook Inlet, flanked by the rugged peaks of the Chugach Mountains on one side, and the vast expanse of coastal wilderness on the other. The road that follows its shoreline is often called one of the most beautiful drives in North America, with every twist revealing a new, jaw-dropping vista. But Turnagain Arm is more than just a scenic stretch of water. It is home to one of the world's most powerful bore tides, a rolling wall of water that rushes through the inlet, reaching speeds of up to 15 miles per hour and heights of 10 feet or more. Surfers, paddleboarders, and even kayakers ride this rare phenomenon, gliding across the silty waves as they chase the incoming tide. Wildlife thrives along the Arm's shores. If you're lucky, you might even catch a glimpse of a moose or a black bear foraging along the highway's edge. Every season brings a new kind of beauty to Turnagain Arm. In summer, golden fireweed lines the roadside, and the sun casts long reflections across the water. In winter, the Arm transforms into an icy dreamscape, with frozen waterfalls clinging to the cliffs and snow-covered peaks rising into the sky. Some places are beautiful from a distance. Turnagain Arm is a place you feel where the tides surge, the mountains whisper, and the wild spirit of Alaska is alive in every ripple and every gust of wind. Valdez. Tucked deep within Prince William Sound, surrounded by towering, snow-capped mountains and cascading waterfalls, Valdez is a place where Alaska's wild beauty is at its most dramatic. Known as the Little Switzerland of Alaska, this remote coastal town is a gateway to breathtaking glaciers, rich marine life, and some of the most awe-inspiring landscapes in the last frontier. The journey to Valdez is an adventure in itself. Traveling along the Richardson Highway, visitors pass through Keystone Canyon, where sheer rock walls rise on either side, and Bridal Veil and Horsetail Falls tumble down in stunning displays of rushing water. In winter, these waterfalls freeze into glittering blue ice, drawing climbers from around the world to scale their frozen heights. The waters of Valdez are alive with wildlife. Humpback whales breach in the distance, sending white spray into the air, while sea otters float lazily on their backs, cracking open shellfish. Orcas, harbor seals, and stellar sea lions are frequent visitors, and the sky is often dotted with bald eagles soaring high above the fjords. In winter, the town transforms into a snow-covered paradise, boasting some of the highest annual snowfall levels in the world, making it a mecca for extreme skiers and snowboarders. Some places feel untouched by time. Valdez is one of them, a place where glaciers still shape the land, where fjords hold secrets of the deep, and where the spirit of Alaska is as raw and untamed as ever. Anchorage. Nestled between the towering Chugach Mountains and the shimmering waters of Cook Inlet, Anchorage is a city unlike any other. It's where the untamed wilderness of Alaska meets modern convenience, offering a rare blend of adventure, culture, and breathtaking natural beauty. Despite being Alaska's largest city, Anchorage is anything but ordinary. Here, moose roam through neighborhoods, bald eagles perch on streetlights, and on clear days, the mighty Denali, North America's tallest peak, looms on the horizon. With over 250 miles of trails, the city is an outdoor lover's paradise. Whether you're biking along the scenic Tony Knowles Coastal Trail, waters of the inlet, hiking in flat-top mountains' alpine tundra, or watching the sunset over the vast. Meanwhile, at Lake Hood, the world's busiest seaplane base, float planes take off and land against a backdrop of rugged peaks, ready to whisk adventurers deep into the Alaskan backcountry. Anchorage is also the cultural hub of Alaska. At the Anchorage Museum and Alaska Native Heritage Center, visitors can explore the rich history and traditions of the indigenous peoples of Alaska, whose deep connection to the land has shaped this region for thousands of years. Some cities are defined by their skyline. Anchorage is defined by its wild spirit, where adventure is always just outside your door in nature is never more than a heartbeat away. Unalaska. Far out in the Aleutian Islands, where the Pacific Ocean meets the Bering Sea, lies Unalaska, a place of raw, untamed beauty and deep cultural history. This remote island town, often mistaken for its more famous port, Dutch Harbor, is a land of misty mountains, volcanic peaks, and rugged coastlines where the forces of nature reign supreme. Surrounded by the endless expanse of the North Pacific, Unalaska is home to some of the most dramatic landscapes in Alaska. Towering cliffs plunge into the churning sea, while emerald green valleys roll into the distance, often shrouded in a ghostly layer of fog. The weather is wild and unpredictable. One moment calm and serene, the next battered by fierce winds and sudden storms. Despite its remoteness, Unalaska has long been a place of significance. The island's history is also shaped by Russian explorers, World War II battles, and the rise of Dutch Harbor, now the busiest commercial fishing port in the United States, thanks to the thriving Bering sea crab and pollock fisheries. Wildlife thrives in this rugged environment. Sea otters and harbor seals bob in the frigid waters, while humpback whales and orcas pass through the surrounding seas. The island's hillsides are home to elusive red foxes, and in summer, carpets of wildflowers burst into bloom, painting the landscape with vivid colors. Adventure in Unalaska is as raw as the land itself. Unalaska is that edge, remote, mysterious, and breathtakingly wild, where the sea and sky merge in an endless dance of wind and waves,